Hi, I'm Nicole Marie Finch. Thank you so much for tuning in to my Health and Mindset blog. Today, I want to talk about something that has been coming up a lot at my job recently, and I know it's something that a lot of us can really struggle with, and that is taking things personally. So sometimes people will say something to us that has nothing really to do with us, but we can take it really personally, and it can kind of create this upset and this anger and anxiety. And it can be really hard, especially when you're dealing with client situations where you kind of have to be a duck and let the water just roll off your feathers. And this is something I used to have a really hard time with. I used to care a lot what other people thought. I used to really care, everything I did was about how this is going to look. This is going to be met with approval. Are my friends going to like me? Are they not going to like me? I cared so much other people thought that it really molded my life, and I took a lot of things personally. If I didn't get the best grade in the class, I took that personally. If I didn't get any if I didn't win that race or whatever, or if someone got picked for an award instead of me, I took that personally, even if that person totally deserved that award. I was just so craving this approval that it sort of started this thing that I took a lot of things personally that maybe I shouldn't have, because I took it as if I didn't get the thing, then it just meant I wasn't good enough. And I had to work harder, and I had to work for that approval. And that was probably not something that, I'm probably not alone in that. Probably a lot of kids think that, especially kids who really tried to be these high achievers. They get stuck in this sense of always looking for that approval, always working for, that someone to like them, and wanting, to just be the one that was getting that, yes, thumbs up, and taking it personally maybe when you didn't, or when someone's trying to critique something that you're doing, taking it personally when they are giving you feedback because it meant you didn't do a good job, because it wasn't right, it wasn't perfect. And it's kind of when we get stuck in this world of perfection that it's really easy to start taking things personally, because we take it as an attack of us not being good enough, not doing a good enough job. And I must say, I have come a long way around this, and because of years of this work I've done on myself, getting to know myself, the personal growth that I've done, all the books that I've been reading. A lot of the stuff that I share on this blog here are things that I had to learn for myself, in how I can just be good and happy and content with who I am and owning that. And that took a lot of time to get there. And I hadn't realized that this leaked over into the whole taking things personally thing until more recently with my new job. And I was actually at a meeting, and there's this client that was not very happy and was saying some very unhappy things about how things were going. And I realized, I didn't necessarily feel like I was in the past at my old job when I had this come up. I would have felt the blood boiling, taking things very personally, well, you don't even know the first thing about how we try to, get that whole thing going. And I realized my manager, he actually took it very personally. He got very upset. He was afterwards we were talking, and he was oh, I just, gets me, I get all upset. We did everything we could. I don't understand why they won't understand. And I found myself at more of a place of peace, and I realized I'm not taking it personally. What's going on here? And I think part of it is that because I've become more confident in myself and been able to recognize the other person for who they are, I've been able to see the bigger picture and truly listen and put myself into their shoes. Because a lot of times what happens when someone attacks you, says something negative to you, maybe they're judging you in some sort of way, say something rude, it's often more a reflection of that person's insecurities and their own issues and their own agenda than anything to do with you. Nothing to do with you. And when they harp on these things, for instance, this client, they were harping on a particular issue that had been resolved, and we did it the way that we could do it best. They have a very unique custom program, but they were just not letting go. And it's well, this is what it is. And it's so easy to get pulled into that. And so it's okay, why are they caring so much about it? What's going on here? And I realized, because they want to look good to their boss too. They don't want to be blamed for this either. So it's easier just to blame us, even if we really didn't have much to do with it. We did the best that we could. We guided the team. And it's hard to I'll get into the whole details of the situation, but I realized that their agenda was that they wanted to hold someone accountable, not themselves. And that happens a lot. People don't want to take responsibility for their own actions. They just want to pin it on somebody else. And so this can happen a lot when we take things personally. Or when someone's giving us critique on our work, take it personally. Someone got an award that we didn't get, take it personally. But if you are proud of yourself and your work ethic and what you are putting out in the world, that's most important. You want to feel proud of yourself, and then you don't need other people to make you feel proud, because you know you did the best thing. And it takes a little bit of putting your ego aside. Like I've found, I just put the ego aside. I don't need to be the best or the smartest or have all the answers. I need to be confident with who I am. And that's really helped a lot with this whole taking things personally thing as well. Because I know I feel good about who I am. I don't really need to be the best everyone else doesn't think so. I know that I'm proud. And it took a long time to get there, I'm telling you. Because the world wants a lot of comparison, a lot of things go on, and it's really easy to get pulled into that. So if we can take a step back and make sure that we are feeling happy and content within ourselves, and kind of think more objectively about the issue, it can help us not take things too personally all the time. Really listen to that. Really listen to what the person is. You have to really kind of know and take that step back and say, okay, I'm good with me. And it's not easy. Okay, this is not easy to do. Like I said, it took a while of focused effort just on myself, just becoming good with myself and becoming comfortable, reconnecting, working on my self-talk, working on my affirmations to get to this point. It does take some work because the world has conditioned us so much. But it's so worth it to be able to have that power. Because just like putting my ego away and just telling someone else, okay, yeah, I'm very sorry. Yeah, you're right. That shouldn't have happened that way. Even though I'm like, well, actually, excuse me, let me take out my list of reasons why you're being ridiculous. Instead, just smiling and nodding, smiling and waving. It may sound like I'm taking that power away and just giving in, but no, I'm keeping my power because I'm keeping myself in my space. I'm not going to give in to that. I'm not going to give in to their agenda, their messages. I'm going to keep my sanity, my joy, my contentment safe over here. And if all I have to do is, if I have to smile and nod and make they feel important, fine. Because everyone wants to feel important in this world. Everyone wants wearing a big sign that says, make me feel important. And by doing that for other people, you actually empower yourself. Because if you help make other people, give them that credit, give them that importance, they're going to like you more. Because they're like, oh, they give me that good feeling. So actually, in a roundabout way, gives you the power. So you just because you don't have that, you're not the one with the ego and the power, and you give that up, doesn't mean that now you're just a person on the totem pole. It's actually, in a roundabout way, allowing you to be in control of you, be in control of your own feelings, and not necessarily being influenced by all the things that other people are trying to, occur in your life. So I still have my power. I keep my confidence. I'm good with myself. I know that I'm not going to be liked by everybody. I know that. And that's okay. Because if you try to, I think there's a quote, if you try to please everybody, you please no one, right? So we've got to make sure we're pleasing ourselves, keeping our level thinking, and try to let the emotions get the best of you and try to have the objectivity. Don't let their words ruin your day. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Someone else's words should never be so powerful that they ruin your day. Someone else's words should never be so powerful that they cause you to act outside of your character. Your words should mean more. Your feelings about yourself are the most important thing, no matter what. So setting up barriers can take time. You've got to do some work on that self-talk, working on those affirmations, saying things like, I am able, I am good enough. And it sounds silly, but it works. And using that time to visualize before bed, all these tactics that I talk about a lot in this blog, bit by bit, you can find that you're good with yourself. It doesn't mean you're not offended sometimes. It doesn't mean that you might get upset sometimes. But overall, in general, you feel better and more centered in who you are. So Start taking that bit by chipping off the layers from that. And soon you'll find that you're going to be able to be you, just be you. And that's just the best person you can be. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know life is chaos. Let's have fun with it. Just be ourselves.